Episode 16 left off with Eugene and company being captured by stormtroopers. No, not really. It's a group that was soldiers that were in armor that looked familiar. But that's that. And oh, Virgil found Connie exhausted by the river. And now here we are at The Walking Dead, episode 17, entitled, well, season 10, episode 17, entitled Home Sweet Home. Oh, Maggie meets Negan. No love lost there, as he tells her, "I didn't escape. If that was what you were thinking." And she just storms off. Now, find out that Maggie, this probably was known, but this is the first time I'm hearing it, that Maggie's son is named Herschel. And of course, Herschel is the name of her father. Probably one of the most beloved characters. I really liked him. I think it was sad when he died. And, so she's got a lot of, there's some things that, you kind of see unraveling with her and her thoughts about Negan. And she finds out that Negan was let out by Carol. And Carol says she did so that he can kill Alpha, that he infiltrated the Whisperers and did what he did. Now, Kelly talks to Daryl about Connie and what they're going to do and stuff like that, about, going to find her, and he doesn't even realize that she's alive. Well, we didn't see Connie in this one, we didn't see Virgil, we didn't see really Eugene and the company there, so that's probably going to be set for next week. Now, Maggie talks about her group and how it fell, how it kind of, what happened to them, and she had to run. She didn't know what happened to people. She left her son with her people, and after her sister Beth died, her and Glenn were gonna go off to her nana's place. I was talking to Daryl about things that were going on in the time that she was away from the group. I mean, from Daryl and them. And she talked about her son, asking about how his dad died. And Maggie said, a bad man killed him. Very, just brutally honest with her son. She wasn't going to hold nothing back. We know Maggie, we know how she is. And she said, the son says, did he get what was coming to him? And then she didn't really continue on with that. And she wanted to really just say a few things here and a few things there to Daryl. As she said that she just didn't want to tell everything. Sometimes it's nice to tell certain things, some things, let it out of your mind, and then, but it's really not that good to reveal it all at once anyway. Now they find themselves, hitting dark. It's getting dusk, so they find these containers, these metal containers, and they have to sweep out and kill all the walkers so that they can take refuge in them and rest till morning. And in the morning, Kelly ditches night watch to check out some abandoned truck, and Maggie kind of kind of chastises her and says, hey, you can't be leaving the group, and it's true, because some walkers were let in the morning and they had to kill off some of the rest of them. Now Maggie and group, they arrive to find her compound in flames. They see two people of their group who were killed, burned up. The entire area was burned up. Finds out that when she finds two of her people, they tell her that before they knew it, the compound was in flames. And one of the guys that's with her says that, hey, it's the Reapers. And the Reapers is a new group. And this group has been terrorizing Maggie's group. Now, as they go along, two of her group is shot. Two girls And one's able to, before she dies, is tell her that Herschel is where Herschel's at. And because Maggie was able to see that, and she told Daryl. Now, they're under a hail of gunfire. Maggie and the rest run for it, and another of her group is shot. Why I mentioned that, that as they were doing that, two of her group members were shot, and Daryl realizes that the Reapers are trying to flush them out so that they can take them out one by one. When they took out that one girl, the other girl went to her aid. Daryl's like, oh no, oh shoot, oh crap, and then she got shot. And Maggie realizes that it takes the guy is stopping, whoever the sniper is, whoever this guy is, the person that's shooting at him, has to refill, reload, and it's like 3 shells, so she realizes that he takes 3 shots, stops, so she knows that she's reloading. He's reloading. Mysterious shooter is reloading after 3 shots, so she decides to go and go after him, and she tells Daryl to distract him, to keep the shooter on him so that she can get to him. Now, Maggie finds a sniper weapon alone, and then you see a pair of eyes in the bush, and she and the guy engage in hand-to-hand combat. Well, she has a knife in hand, and he is in a ghillie suit, and she ends up being caught in a leg trap, and she's hung upside down. She's trying to cut the rope down. Daryl comes in to save her. The guy knocks him down. Now Maggie's able to cut the rope, and she comes down, and she continues to try to engage him in hand to hand, knife to knife, knife to man. And what happens is that he gets shot with an arrow, and all the people in Maggie's group surround the guy. They're asking him, who are you? Maggie keeps saying that incessantly. Who are you? Who are you? And the sniper, well, he blows himself up. He reaches in his pocket, his hand like this. You see a pin. Maggie says, "Get down!" They all drop to the ground. The guy gets blown up. Probably realized he knew that he was going to die, and stuff. So he said, I'm going to take some of you or all of you with me. And he said that the Pope marked you to Maggie. Don't know what that means, but then she ends up finding Herschel. He's up in a tree. That's all kids do, right? She smiles, and when they're back to where they were before in those containers to take a much needed rest, we see Elijah, who was the masked man. Because earlier him and it looks like he was kind of like, maybe he had like type of a PTSD or something like that, something that caused him to not be able to, maybe a panic attack or something. And Kelly goes, take off your mask, can you? And he took it off, and then she saw him, and they kind of locked eyes. She let him know that I'm here, we're gonna do this together, and he was able to shake it off. And then back at the containers, back where they were at, he gives her an apple, looks like an apple or a pear. And then Maggie thanks her and says that, you did a lot for him. He has a bad time, a bad go of it, like they all have, but we don't know his story yet, Elijah's story, so we'll see what happens with that. But it's funny, it's something when you see him, he looks so intimidating, so, like badass, you know what I mean, with the mask on, especially when he first came on the scene in episode 16. He's flinging his weapon around, but then when you take the mask off, he's human, and he looks very, very like just ordinary, normal. The mystery is gone right there when he took his mask off, and that kind of makes him humanized. That humanizes him, and makes him an interesting character to kind of want to know what he's about. Now, like I said, and it seems like he's gotten close with Kelly, and I'm sure that in the upcoming episodes you're going to see him, open up more, maybe hear him talk, and looking forward to that. I'd like to see what's his character is about. Now, Maggie talks about, you know, making sure that there's no more of those reapers out there. And Daryl says that we'll sweep them out, make sure, because he says that they don't want them to be following them to Alexandria. Alexandria is the only thing that matters to her. That's what she says. And she says she'll deal with Negan if she has to. Now, as they arrive, Negan and Maggie cross paths, and it seems Negan is the only one that wants to talk. I mean, he has that look on his face like he's very distraught. He has a lot of like, what you call that? He's just, you can tell that he's very, I guess sorry, and unless he's very, he wants Maggie, I guess, to forgive him. He always has that look in his face like he just wants Maggie to understand. He wants him to realize that, according to him, and according to what we've seen the last season, is that he's changed a lot. He made that ultimate sacrifice to be in the Whisperer so that he could take them out from within. And she's not gonna really understand or really even clear because he killed his Glenn, and him and Saviors did a lot of damage. And those other guys, Daryl and them, can kind of be like, he's useful, we can use him, he could be dispensable, but it's like with her, she doesn't care. And what's going to happen this season? If she going to kill him? Is she going to rid him? And maybe, knowing how Negan is, he's a guy that is almost at times he doesn't care if he dies. He'll probably accept her taking him out. He'll just sit there with his head up like this, and then he'll tell her, he'll maybe even give her Lucille and say, hurry up and bash me in the head like you did, like I did Glenn. I deserve it. And that's probably what he's gonna do. Now that's how the episode ends. They're all at Alexandria, and they all are rebuilding it, because according to what they said, the Whisperers left a present for them in the form of just destroying their compound. And during the show, I saw a thing that said the final episode or final season begins this summer 2021. And I was thinking, is that because you saw a desk? Now, I don't know, because I did see TWD faintly in the background. Maybe I misread it, maybe it's something else, but I'm thinking there's a desk, and it seems like it's in a booth, like that thing where you have cops on one side, there's a glass, and then there's like another side there that that could look in on. Maybe that's connection with maybe Rick, I don't know. But I mean, he did say that 11 is, from what I remember hearing, that season 11 is the last one. So and I've heard that they're planning on spin-offs with Daryl and Carol, and I believe there's another one too. So who knows? That's what happens, I guess that means Daryl ain't gonna die. Neither is Carol. I don't know. You've been telling us all that stuff that that certain people are gonna die, and it's at times they do that to kind of throw us off, because you don't know if someone's gonna die. It's always a surprise sometimes. Sometimes the side characters die, or the supporting characters, and once in a while we get the main guys, but it hasn't happened a lot. It's been close calls, but this was a very good episode. I enjoyed it. It's a good start. Now they're at Alexandria, so what happens next? Now they have to deal with another group called the Reapers. So we'll see what that's going to be and what that's going to entail. And I don't know if they're part of the comics. So like I always say, I don't get into the comics. I don't get it that deeply into the lore or anything. I just watch the TV shows, and that goes for everything: Marvel, DC, anything. So see what happens when next week they showed a preview. At the moment, I can't remember what I saw. I mean, I do vaguely. I remember one thing, that Daryl was cornered by some girl, and he was fighting off walkers, and then you hear him screaming. We saw something like that in past seasons where it looked like something was happening. He was screaming, and then you're thinking he died, and he didn't. So that could easily be something to throw you off. You know, who knows? I don't know if those spin-offs were just planned and they're not really doing it at the moment. You know, it's just thoughts, maybe just something they're throwing out there to see whether or not they're going to go through with it. But well, you know, that's my recap of The Walking Dead season 10, episode 17, entitled "Home Sweet Home." And they did do just that. They did make it to their home sweet home, Alexandria. And I enjoyed the episode. Walking Dead doesn't get old for me. A lot of people are there complaining. They're already saying, "Oh, they're gonna drag this thing out with Maggie and Negan and all that stuff." But man, just watch it. Stop complaining. Every single time you got these people probably complaining since day one. Get zombies. What about the stories about Negan, but Rick and those guys? And then when it focuses on Rick and those guys, we want more zombies. You make up your own damn minds, can't you? But me, I go along for the ride. Because I'm a fan. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not someone who feels like everything has to be like how the comics are. They take elements from the comics and then they write for the show. But you know, they're right where people can't be satisfied. But anyway, that's my video. And for those of you who stopped by, checked it out, appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.